Hello and welcome to Pat's Latest. I'm your host, Mike Gambardella. We run through all of the free agency predictions for the New England Patriots, hear about what Peyton Manning already thinks about Drake May from Drake May himself, and what Mike Vrabel's already doing for the culture in Foxborough. Before we get into it, please make sure to subscribe to our channel, like this video and our other ones, and get into the comments and let us know what your takes are and where you think the Patriots should be spending most of their time this offseason before they get into the 2025 year. We start off on this episode with a look at free agency and how the New England Patriots need to be looking at a lot of different things. We know after a 4-13 season, there's a lot to be done, and we start on the offensive side of the ball. Obviously, Drake May covers up a lot of inaccuracies that your offense can have, and adding Josh McDaniels to run that offense is going to be a big help. But looking at it positionally, and we'll start on the offensive side and do the defense in an upcoming episode, but we'll go position by position on who the New England Patriots could potentially look at adding and who would be a kind of pie in the sky option for them, and maybe more of a realistic option. Obviously, in that quarterback room, both Drake May and Joe Milton are going to be QB1 and QB2 potentially, but that means it's a very young quarterback room. Now, yes, Josh McDaniel will serve as a true coach and mentor for both of them, but the Patriots may want to look at a seasoned veteran to help them along. Now, with both of those guys having the background as a scrambling or rushing quarterback, two names that could be a little bit further down the list are Teddy Bridgewater, who has come out of retirement and signed with the Detroit Lions for that playoff run. If he's looking to come back and if Detroit is going to move on to Hendon Hooker, could be an option for the Patriots. Another one that actually knocked off those Detroit Lions in the playoffs was Marcus Mariota, who helped mentor Jaden Daniels this past year. So someone else who could kind of show how that rushing ability translates to the next level and hopefully how to protect yourself when getting into trouble. The wide receiver spot is a little easier, as we've talked about Chris Godwin and T. Higgins as the two options, but taking a step further down the list, another one we have talked about is Hollywood Brown with the Kansas City Chiefs, and get another chance to look at him in the Super Bowl a week from Sunday. Another one is actually a Giants wide receiver in Darius Slayton, who has had a couple down years. Obviously, the shortcomings of Daniel Jones and the team not being able to overcome that, but a talented wide receiver, one who earned a good contract, and one that may be actually looking for a chance to re-up his value. So someone who could come in at a lower salary point and immediately help out Drake May. Don't be surprised to hear his name talked a lot once the free agency starts. Again, the new league year starting up on March 12th. The running back position, obviously nailed down by Ramondre Stevenson, even after that down year, has the contract to keep him going. Don't be surprised if a running back is added through the draft. But looking at the free agency side, there are several intriguing names. For me, there's two of them actually both coming from the San Francisco 49ers. Christian McCaffrey's injury opened up a lot of touches and a lot of eyes for Jordan Mason. Was immediately successful when going back there, had an injury at the end of the year, which kind of stalled things out. But don't be surprised if a lot of teams are in on Mason, who showed he can be a bell cow back. Again, could drive up the price a little bit for him. That injury maybe bringing it back down a little bit. But someone, if at the right price, could be a good option for the Patriots. Another one actually is Patrick Taylor, who stepped in at the end of the year and actually probably would have gotten even more touches if it weren't for rookie Isaac Guerrero also stepping up for the 49ers. It just seems like they're a running back factory. So another good flyer for the Patriots if they're looking to add to that depth chart in the backfield. Quickly looking at tight end, Austin Hooper is actually a free agent. So the Patriots had a great year backing up Henry this year and in two tight end sets as well. If they get priced out of the market for him, don't be surprised if they look at someone like Juwan Johnson from the New Orleans Saints. Again, quarterback issues with Derek Carr getting injured, not always targeting those tight ends has brought him down a little bit. Someone who could step into the offense here as well. Also want to look at the next steps from rising rookie Jaheim Bell to see if he can't take a step as well. Quick go to the offensive line. We've talked about Ronnie Stanley, how he will probably set the tone and the market for all of the tackles. Alaric Jackson from the Los Angeles Rams would be another great option. Again, is that price point right? And two guys who fall underneath that, Jedrick Wills from the Cleveland Browns had his issues, so could come out at a cheaper price. And Dan Skipper, another name people know from the Detroit Lions, actually served as kind of that sixth lineman, swing tackle, and guy that they always seem to be targeting in the red zone looking for those sneaky touchdowns. The guard position is one that is full of a lot of big options, big names. Trey Smith will lead the charge there, playing in the Super Bowl for the Chiefs. Again, probably a little too expensive for the Patriots in this issue. In this instance, again, a chance to go back to the Super Bowl champs if possible, or set the market tone somewhere else. Another one going to the Lions, Kevin Zeitler, could actually be a great addition if you're looking to shore up that guard spot for another few years. And we'll give the center position an NA for this one. Hopefully with David Andrews coming back and with Cole Strange making that position switch over to center at the end of the year should shore that up for the Patriots. So that'll quickly do it for the offensive side of the ball. We'll get to the defense in the coming weeks here as well and start to really drill down as we get into the start of the new league here in March. From there, we'll actually head over to the Pro Bowl, and the game started up on Thursday night, and many people were taking note of Drake May. Obviously there as a rookie, as a replacement, a little surprised that he was there, but honestly a great experience that can be had for the New England Patriots quarterback. And it was many people taking note, and Peyton Manning was one of them, was immediately quoted as saying Drake May is a natural leader. He spoke about his arm, which is electric, his athletic ability, which is something none of the Mannings outside of Arch probably had much of. And yes, that is a shot from a Patriots fan. Yeah, we don't like the Colts, we don't like Peyton, we don't like Eli. It happens. Sorry. But we'll respect the opinion of a man who has won a Super Bowl and set a lot of records in his time in the NFL. Went on to say that he was very impressed with Drake and what he was able to do. He thought that him getting to play games as a rookie is going to be very beneficial for him. He also said that he was accountable, something that doesn't always happen. You know, when something good happens, he's quick to give the credit to his offensive linemen and the wide receivers. But when something doesn't go his way, that's what he's going to focus on, how he can get better. Another thing he actually mentioned to Pat McAfee on his show on Friday was him having a conversation with Baker Mayfield while he was there. And it kind of speaks to becoming a pro, of putting yourself out there, of making the most of the time that he has, and something that, you know, hopefully will, again, benefit Baker Mayfield, could benefit Baker Mayfield when it's all said and done, let's be perfectly honest, but benefiting Drake May right now, of talking to someone who's gone through several coaching changes, has gone through how to deal with having new offensive coordinators, speaking to guys who have been there and done that, and help Drake May, again, speed up that process of becoming a top flight starter in the NFL. So again, all good things for Drake May coming out of the Pro Bowl, and a lot of former Pro Bowlers themselves taking note. From there, we'll go on to talk a little bit about Drake, who was interviewed several times, and he actually got a chance to go on the record for the first time about his new head coach in Mike Vrabel and in his new offensive coordinator in Josh McDaniels. He said it was very fortunate to be able to have Josh McDaniels on the staff, someone who coached, quote unquote, from Drake May, the best ever, in my opinion, in Tom Brady, which is the right call, especially in this town. But actually speaking to having a guy or offensive coordinator come in who now has a treasure trove of tape of someone who's done it in New England, shown how to do that, and come in and can go back and look at all of those things and go through it with that coach and say, how did this work? How do we time this out right? And how can we translate that to fit Drake May's style and his play selection, and make him be successful in spots maybe that he's not comfortable with, and open Coach McDaniel's eyes to how he can now utilize a dual threat quarterback, something that he has not really had as well. So big opportunity for both May and McDaniels. And also when he was asked about having Coach Vrabel, saw that he already talked on the phone, and it's been, quote unquote, been awesome to have Vrabel there and someone, obviously a coach who's won a Super Bowl and done that. Obviously, he had that in Gerard Mayo. The biggest difference now is having a coach that has done that before, has been a head coach. That was something that Gerard Mayo had difficulty overcoming in year one. Obviously, something he was going to have to do, and unfortunately was not able to do that quickly enough to give a chance at year two. So the Patriots quickly pivot to go to a different linebacker, one now that has come in and immediately put his stamp on the program. And from there, it's been very evident. It's been different. I think a lot of people continue to note that. And it was reinforced today as Mike Giardi went on 98.5, the Sports Hub, and was talking about this quote-unquote Mike Vrabel effect and how he's changing the culture and the dynamic of the New England Patriots and doing that very quickly right now. And it's not subtle because people are taking note and they're talking about it in great detail. And Giardi actually said that Vrabel is the type of guy that would weed out the weak links. And that's not just saying players, because he's going to do that with the roster, and through practice he'll be able to do that quickly. But he said even the support staff of trying to find where the holes are and how they can be strong everywhere across the board. And I think, seeing that through him putting together his coaching staff, support staff, whether that's the trainers and everyone in the front office, anywhere that they could actually get better, they're going to be open to doing that. And the part that Giardi left it was with, don't be surprised with this New England Patriots group of people who you've seen be core pieces in the past if they're not core pieces when the 2025 season kicks off. So give us a thought. Put in the comments who you think might be a surprise cut at the end of the day, and someone who's been a Patriot that might not be here, and somebody that could end up helping the Patriots, could we say, make the playoffs in 2025, and hopefully give us a little bit more to talk about in Pat's latest and get us a little later in the season. As always, thanks for joining us. Make sure you subscribe, put those comments in there. We'll get back to you, and join us on the next episode. Fight on, Foxborough.